to the British royal family is this idea of a royal reconciliation. And we have some of the top aides having these super secret meetings here in London.
Imposters. And what is really annoying is that we shouldn't have to in any way admire what they're doing in Düsseldorf.
Britain's most ruthless royal biographer, Tom Bower, just dropped allegations so explosive that Meghan is reportedly panicking behind palace gates. And fans online are calling it the end of her carefully curated empire. But here's the twist. This isn't just gossip, it's a legal chess match. And the next move could destroy the Sussex brand forever. Let's start with the name that set the internet on fire. Tom Bower.
Photographed and every last detail in the Daily Mail. Tom Bower, what was your reaction when you saw those headlines?
I thought it was confection.
At 85 years old, he's not chasing clicks on TikTok. He's a man with decades of receipts, an undefeated record in court, and a reputation for dismantling powerful figures. Critics point out that Meghan has sued at least 8 times since 2019, but Bower has never lost a single legal battle. And according to commentators, that's what makes this moment so terrifying for her. Because Bower didn't just call Meghan names, he painted a picture of yacht parties, calculated royal targeting, and manipulations that fans say could rewrite her entire love story with Prince Harry.
Manipulation. I thought that it showed, firstly, Harry absolutely desperate. I thought that Meredith Maines, who is a very aggressive PR for the Sussexes, got way beyond herself because she really doesn't understand the British royal family.
If she sues, the documents come out. If she stays silent, the rumors stick. One media lawyer speculated this week. That impossible catch-22 is already trending under hashtags like hashtag Granny Sussex and hashtag Yacht Girl Meghan. For Meghan, who's built her brand on glossy product launches and aspirational interviews, the timing is brutal. Just weeks after relaunching herself in Hollywood as a serious producer, the scandal explodes. Memes now show her photoshopped onto luxury yachts with captions like, "From Duchess to Deckhand." It's not just funny, it's reputationally lethal. But here's the bigger problem. According to reports in The Telegraph, Hollywood insiders are whispering about whether she's still bankable. One producer allegedly postponed a meeting after the Bower interview, not because of the truth of the claims, but because of the optics. In Hollywood, image is currency. And right now, Meghan's image is radioactive.
I had some admiration for Meghan. She succeeded quite well in her life and her ambitions, so I was able to balance it all.
Fans online are ruthless too. TikTok edits splice her Oprah interview with yacht footage, turning her once emotional "I didn't Google Harry" line into a punchline. Twitter threads compare her situation to past celebrity implosions, from Paula Deen's sponsorship collapse to Amber Heard's courtroom defeat. The pattern is clear. Once the internet decides you're a meme, your control over the narrative evaporates. And Meghan's greatest weapon has always been control. Carefully staged photos, scripted interviews, strategic leaks, all designed to keep the fairy tale intact. But Tom Bower isn't playing by those rules. Reports suggest he has former friends, industry insiders, even old blog posts as ammunition, which means this isn't just a PR scandal. It's a potential demolition of her entire brand architecture. So how does Meghan fight back? Fans say she's furious and threatening legal action, but insiders warn that could backfire catastrophically, because if she sues, the courtroom becomes discovery, and every carefully hidden detail of her past could suddenly be on the public record. That's why some commentators are calling this the most dangerous scandal Meghan has ever faced. And we're just at the beginning.
And so I think she got it wrong by leaking it, or even letting anyone know about it. Right. That was a great mistake. And I don't think it'll produce what they hope. And I think in the end, I don't think the Sussexes themselves know what they want anymore.
What Tom Bower revealed next about her royal marriage didn't just embarrass Meghan, it humiliated Harry in the most devastating way possible. If the yacht party whispers rattled Meghan, Tom Bower's second revelation cut even deeper. According to his reporting, Meghan didn't originally set her sights on Harry at all. The real prize was Prince William, the future king. And when that plan failed, she allegedly pivoted to Harry, a man who has spent his life mocked as the spare. That single allegation set the internet ablaze. Viral memes showed Harry wearing a participation medal, captions like, "When you realize you weren't her first pick." Fans who once defended Meghan's love story now admitted the humiliation was brutal to watch. One commentator on GB News quipped, This is worse than any tabloid headline. It strikes at Harry's identity itself, and the cruelest twist? The rumor fits perfectly into the nickname that has shadowed him since birth. Second choice, second son, second best.
We've also seen, haven't we, the story by Victoria Ward in the Telegraph, where they were talking about, and that upset the palace quite a lot about talking about funeral arrangements and things.
For years, Harry and Meghan have marketed their relationship as an epic romance. The blind date, the instant chemistry, the whirlwind wedding. But if Bauer's sources are right, then the fairy tale collapses into strategy. Every story Meghan told about not knowing Harry, about never Googling him, starts to look suspicious. Fans online are now replaying her Oprah interview with fresh eyes, dubbing it the greatest performance of her career. And the public isn't the only one reacting. According to the Daily Mail, palace insiders are quietly smirking. One source claimed staff are calling Harry Plan B behind his back. Another suggested William's team won't dignify the rumor with comment. A silence that only fuels speculation. In the world of royals, silence is often louder than denial. Hollywood voices are chiming in too. An anonymous studio executive told Variety that Meghan's image was already fragile after failed projects with Netflix and Spotify. Now, they said, this William revelation makes her look like she's been gaming the system all along. That makes brands nervous.
And is this about looking like the bigger person? Because he preaches a lot about forgiveness. We heard him talk about open borders. Sometimes he's very kumbaya. And I wonder if he's trying to put his money where...
In an industry where authenticity sells, calculated ambition doesn't. But the most devastating reaction came from ordinary fans. Social media is merciless when it smells hypocrisy. And this story has given them endless material. TikTok creators stitched Harry's speeches about finding true love with sarcastic captions. She found true love after Plan A didn't work. Twitter trended with hashtag #SecondChoiceHarry. Even Reddit, once sympathetic to the Sussexes, filled with threads analyzing Meghan's body language for signs of calculation. It's here where the contradiction becomes impossible for Meghan to control. She wanted to be the American outsider who brought heart to a stuffy monarchy. But Bauer's portrait is of a strategist, a climber, someone who allegedly studied the royals like a chessboard. Whether true or not, that story sticks. Because it fits the image of Meghan many critics already believed. And the real danger, according to media analysts, this is only phase 2 of Bauer's campaign. His legal trap is still looming, and Meghan is walking straight into it. The lawsuit threats that once silenced critics could now blow up everything. Because in court, discovery doesn't protect fairy tales, it destroys them. Remember Meghan's wide-eyed claim to Oprah that she had no idea who Harry was, that she hadn't even Googled him? Tom Bauer says otherwise. And the receipts are chilling. According to his sources, Meghan studied Harry like a thesis. She researched his charities, his psychology, even his grief over Princess Diana. What sounded like coincidence in interviews, their shared interest in Africa, in humanitarian work, now looks, in Bauer's telling, like careful choreography. That revelation landed like a thunderclap. For critics, it confirmed every suspicion. That Meghan's romance wasn't accidental, it was engineered. For Harry, it meant every tender moment could be reframed as manipulation. And for fans online, it became instant meme fuel. One viral TikTok caption read, "Not love at first sight, research at first search." The internet doesn't forgive when innocence looks like strategy, but Bauer didn't stop there. He pointed to a blog post Meghan allegedly wrote after William and Kate's 2011 wedding, musing about little girls dreaming of being princesses. In isolation, it's harmless. In this context, it looks like foreshadowing. Commentators speculated she had mapped her path years before meeting Harry. As one royal watcher on YouTube put it, if true, this isn't a fairy tale, it's a screenplay. And then came the legal trap. Meghan's instinct when under fire has always been litigation. From tabloids to paparazzi, she's filed lawsuit after lawsuit to protect her image. But Bauer isn't a gossip blogger. He's an investigative bulldog with decades of legal victories. Insiders whispered that if Meghan sues, he'll drag every document, every witness, every yacht photo into open court. Imagine the circus if former friends testified about her alleged networking days, or if blog drafts were entered into evidence. Even her defenders admit the risk could be catastrophic. Yet staying silent is no safer. In PR, silence often reads as admission. Commentators on Talk TV suggested that ignoring Bauer's book will only cement the allegations as accepted truth. Fans are already treating his claims as fact. sharing side-by-side clips of Meghan's denials and Bauer's revelations with captions like, "Caught in 4K." And the stakes go beyond gossip. According to Variety, producers are quietly reassessing deals with Meghan. One entertainment lawyer explained, "Studios don't like uncertainty. If you're radioactive in the press, you're risky to invest in. That means fewer meetings, fewer green lights, fewer chances to rebuild her image in Hollywood." The contradiction is complete. Meghan once controlled the narrative so tightly that even small leaks felt like victories. Now she faces an adversary who doesn't play by her rules, can't be intimidated, and may have the receipts to dismantle everything, which leaves her trapped. Sue and risk total exposure. Stay silent and watch the brand she built collapse unchecked. But just when it seemed devastating enough, Bauer pushed even further into revelations that didn't just damage Meghan's image, but humiliated Harry himself in ways the internet will never forget. For Harry, the humiliation is unbearable. He spent his life defined as the spare, only to now face headlines suggesting even his wife saw him that way. Tom Bauer's claim that Meghan first targeted William before pivoting to Harry has become the internet's favorite punchline. Memes show him wearing a plastic crown with captions like, "Congratulations, you're Plan B." On Reddit, one thread bluntly titled, "Second Choice Harry," hit 20,000 upvotes in a single day. The cruelty is sharper because it cuts into Harry's deepest wounds. In interviews, he's spoken of feeling unwanted, overshadowed, desperate for belonging. Now, those very vulnerabilities are being used to mock him. One commentator on Sky News called it the ultimate irony. The woman who promised to heal his trauma is the one intensifying it. And the visual culture of the internet makes it impossible to escape. Every scroll brings new parodies, every TikTok remix rewrites his love story into a cautionary tale. Meanwhile, Meghan's reputation is deteriorating in Hollywood. According to Deadline, projects once described as in development have stalled. Executives reportedly joke about the yacht girl optics in private, with one insider quoted saying, "She wanted to be the next Oprah. Now she's fighting not to become the next Anna Delvey." That comparison to a convicted social climber spread quickly, fueling hashtags like #MeghanDelvey. Even her supporters, the so-called Sussex squad, have gone unusually quiet. Normally quick to trend, defensive hashtags, their silence has become the story. Commentators on Talk TV noted, "When your loudest defenders stop defending, it's because they can't find the angle. The absence of counter-narrative makes the allegations stick even harder." And Bauer knows it. According to reports in The Times, he's already drafting a follow-up book, promising revelations even more damaging than the first. Insiders suggest he's gathering testimony from Meghan's former staff, people who've refused to speak until now. The threat is clear. What's surfaced so far may be just the opening salvo. Culturally, this puts the Sussexes in dangerous territory. Hollywood tolerates scandals if you bring revenue. The monarchy tolerates troublemakers if you maintain dignity. But the internet doesn't tolerate hypocrisy. And right now, the contrast between Meghan's polished global humanitarian image and the yacht girl memes is too stark to reconcile. As one fan tweeted, "She wanted to be Diana 2.0, she's becoming Paris Hilton 3.0. And then there's the legal trap, still looming. If Meghan sues, the spectacle explodes into courtrooms. If she stays quiet, the silence becomes damning. Either way, the Sussex brand takes the hit. Commentators are calling it a lose-lose scenario. She either risks exposure or she concedes the narrative, one royal expert told The Telegraph. This is the peak. The fairy tale has unraveled, the internet is merciless, and the industry is backing away. But the real fallout isn't just Meghan's humiliation or Harry's memes, it's the collapse of the entire Sussex experiment, a brand once valued in the hundreds of millions now circling the drain. The fallout has been swift and merciless. Meghan's carefully constructed persona, the Duchess turned humanitarian, the Hollywood producer turned cultural leader, is now being treated like a collapsing house of cards. Industry insiders whisper that she's radioactive. According to Variety, meetings that were once urgent are now pending indefinitely. One agent put it bluntly, "She's not an asset, she's a liability." But the collapse isn't just professional, it's cultural. For years, Meghan and Harry positioned themselves as victims of the monarchy, using interviews, documentaries, and books to frame their narrative. Now, Tom Bauer's revelations have flipped that script entirely. Instead of victims, they're being cast as manipulators. Instead of sympathetic underdogs, they're the punchline. Hashtags like #second choice, Harry and #yacht girl, Meghan aren't fading. They're multiplying, seeping into mainstream coverage, and redefining their public image in real time. And the numbers don't lie. According to The Telegraph, interest in their Netflix projects has cooled. Spotify dropped their deal entirely last year, with one executive calling them grifters. Now, with Bauer promising more revelations, brands that once saw dollar signs in the Sussex name are retreating. Commentators warn that their $14 million Montecito mansion and lavish lifestyle may become unsustainable if revenue streams dry up. The empire they built on image is eroding, brick by brick. Even the royal family, often silent in these storms, benefits from the chaos. By doing nothing, they allow Meghan and Harry's reputational collapse to serve as a cautionary tale. Insiders say palace staff have noticed the shift. For years, it was the Windsors under pressure. Now, it's the Sussexes. The contrast is striking. William and Kate projected as steady, Harry and Meghan painted as volatile. That dynamic will shape the monarchy's image for a generation. But perhaps the most haunting part of this saga is the cultural resonance. Hollywood has seen celebrity implosions before, from Lindsay Lohan to Amber Heard, but never has it watched a duchess, married into the world's most famous family, spiral into meme culture with such speed. As one cultural critic on Twitter wrote, "This isn't just a scandal, it's the death of a brand." So where does this end? Meghan could double down, releasing her own tell-all memoir, risking further contradictions. She could retreat, living quietly in California, hoping time heals reputational wounds. Or she could fight, taking Tom Bauer to court, risking the exposure of every secret she's tried to bury. Each path is fraught, and none guarantee redemption. Because once the internet decides you're a character, not a person, your story isn't yours anymore. And right now, Meghan Markle's story is being written by memes, hashtags, and a biographer who shows no sign of slowing down. And that leaves us with one question. Is this the beginning of the end for Hollywood's most controversial royal couple, or just the start of an even bloodier war? If Tom Bauer's Yacht Girl bombshell could flip Meghan Markle's entire brand upside down, imagine what happens if his next book uncovers even more. Subscribe now, hit that notification bell, and don't miss the next chapter in a royal saga that's only getting darker.